So we have some updates on missing Quinton Simons, and we do have a little bit more of the family dynamic worked out. According to WTOC, in a telephone interview, the grandmother says mom was served with eviction notice. The grandmother of missing toddler Quinton Simon is hopeful he will be found safe. But as more than 24 hours has passed since he was last seen, she cannot stop thinking the worst has happened. A quote from the grandmother: "My mind has thought the worst and it's prayed for the best. I couldn't imagine that she would hurt one of her kids, but I can't say the thought hasn't gone through my mind 100,000 times," Billy Howell said in a phone interview. Her 20-month-old grandson was last seen at 6 a.m. Wednesday. The search effort began at 9 a.m. yesterday when Chatham County Police received a report of the missing toddler in the 500 block of Burkhalter Road, where the family home is. By the afternoon, the search grew to a multi-agency effort involving the FBI, a drone, helicopters, and officers searching on horseback was called in, but it was called off at sunset. Sorry about that. Grandmother says she has custody of 20-month-old Quinton and was working out of town in Illinois when she learned of his missing. She left as soon as she got the call from Quinton's babysitter. When she arrived at her home on Burkhalter Road, she said she found crime scene tape up and had to stay at a motel. Police have since taken down the tape, she said. She lives at the home with her husband, her 22-year-old daughter, Leilani, who is Quinton's mother, her daughter's boyfriend, and Leilani's 3 children. But I haven't heard from any police, and they were supposed to be here searching this morning. They're not here. I'm praying that's a good sign. Before she left for her short-term job in Illinois, she had served her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend with an eviction notice through the courts. She said they would fight all the time. It was just horrible. I was like, look, we have a house that we want to come home to and live in peace, but we can't do that with y'all's mess. So I also have a couple of videos I'm going to play for you. So it turns out that there's 3 children in the home, and grandma and her husband are there with Leilani and her boyfriend and the 3 children. So we finally have some dynamics. Grandma does have custody of the children, and they were in care of the mother while grandmother was out of town working. So here we go. I'm going to play a couple videos for you. Okay, let's see. Okay, bear with me 1 minute here. Okay, it's up already. Okay, good.
Savannah, of a family still holding out hope that their one-year-old son will be found. Quinton Simons disappeared from his Savannah home nearly 24 hours ago, or more than 24 hours ago now. And this morning, the search continues. Sarah Winkleman is joining us live near the home on Buckhalter Road with what we know so far. Sarah?
Good morning, Kyle. Well, we are still waiting to hear from Chatham County Police exactly what their plan is for the day ahead. There's no officers out here at this time. The tape has been taken off around that home, and just a little while ago, actually, homeowners have arrived. They're actually Quinton's grandparents, so they own this house. They were gone yesterday. They drove all night, have been able to get back, but they're still waiting to hear from police so they can go back inside and what is next for them in this process. So right now, take a look. I want to show you the picture of what Quinton looks like. This is Quinton Simon right here, and he was last seen wearing a light blue Sesame Street shirt and black pants when he disappeared from his home on Buckwalter Road yesterday morning. Police are asking if you do see him to call 911. And while there were many experts out here on the scene yesterday, like the sheriff's office, the FBI, the bloodhounds, there were also a lot of concerned neighbors. People from up and down the street came to help search for Quinton. And even people from outlying communities came to help. One of those people, though, that was a part of the search, a neighbor that lives just down the road, and she says she's been babysitting Quinton for several months, and this is not the first time that he has been out of the house unsupervised.
He has been out before, so that's why yesterday I thought for sure when they had texted me and got in touch with me that he would show up somewhere around here. I never knew that the search would last this long. My gut tells me something's very wrong, but my heart, and we're praying, hoping God will intervene and he's okay.
And more of those neighbors are starting to come out this morning, just kind of waiting for some information to see what is happening. They all said they did not sleep well last night, just unsure where Quinton is and hoping that he returns home safely. Those grandparents, especially once they arrived this morning, a very emotional day out here. So we'll keep you updated as soon as we get some more information. So be sure to stick with us on air and online with this developing story. Live in Savannah, Sarah Winkleman, WTOC News.
For joining us. I'm Dawn Baker.
Okay, so that kind of goes over the same thing I was just telling you about the grandparents. And we do have a press conference from the police department, so I'm going to play that really quickly now for you.
Quinton. We continue to investigate this incident. We've got some assistance from the FBI. We got numerous interviews to conduct today, as well as downloading phones and things of that nature to try to bring this case to a conclusion. It still remains a missing child investigation at this point until we reach a different conclusion based on any evidence that we may find or any updates or developments that we may occur here today. Just to kind of recap what we have done, as you know, we had aviation out here yesterday all day or half of the day, providing air support. We had mounted patrol from Savannah Police Department, which we sincerely appreciate. We had SEMA and the volunteers doing a grid search, an area search, looking for little Quinton. And as of this morning, we still have yet to locate him. So a lot of work to do. Our investigators are working extremely hard. They were here until 2 o'clock in the morning this morning, and then came back in at 8 o'clock for a briefing, and are out here this morning continuing to investigate. So that is unfortunately all the update, substantive update that we have here this morning. I'd be happy to answer a few questions that you may have. Go from there. As of this time, we have not had any evidence to lead us to believe foul play but everything's on the table, honestly. So we're looking at this from many different angles. We're getting all the technology that we can, looking for cameras that were in the area, things of that nature. So, but as of this interview, we don't have anything of substance that would lead us to believe that it's still a missing child investigation. I don't know. It took 3 hours to report to the police. I haven't gotten into that level of detail when the mother noticed the child was missing. The only information that I have is that the boyfriend woke up, saw the child at 6 a.m. The mother woke up at some other time later and then reported the child missing at 9:39. I believe the call came into 911. So the time difference and whatnot, I'm not privy to that level of detail at this second. Please restate your question. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. This morning? Yeah. So, well, we had conducted our area grid search yesterday. So we didn't believe that we had exhausted that geographic area where we felt perhaps if he wandered away that he would be in that area. So we wanted to regroup this morning. We were out till 2 o'clock in the morning. Now we're narrowing it down to other small geographic areas, seeing if that would yield, finding Quinton. So we just felt that we had exhausted all of our geographic coverage area with what we did yesterday with the aviation, with the mounted patrol, with our drone. And we didn't feel that would yield anything to be back at that exact location this morning.
How are the parents doing in this morning from your perspective?
Well, I haven't talked to them personally. Obviously, they have been working with our detectives. I can only assume that they're, at this point, they're victims. They are dealing with the loss of a child. They're worrying and wondering where he may be at. And so, as any of us, if we were in that position, I would be terrified. Having 6 children of my own, if one of my children were missing, I'd be a mess, quite frankly.
And then follow up to that, does Quinton have any siblings? Are there any other brothers or sisters?
I believe there is an older sibling, maybe a year older or so. I think it's a boy, but I'm not 100% sure.
So the FBI was there yesterday to help. Is that customary, or were there certain aspects of the case that they thought it was necessary?
They will continue to help with the investigation. In this type, because it's a missing child, but there's also a potential it could have been abducted. Obviously, that falls within their wheelhouse. They're a great organization to work with. They have an enormous amount of resources that necessarily local law enforcement doesn't have, and their willingness to step in, provide additional manpower, as well as the resources that they have, which it is welcomed beyond belief. So, but because it's a missing and could be an abducted child, that's where it falls within their wheelhouse.
Do you believe Quinton is still alive?
I hope he's still alive. We don't know. We don't have any information to believe he's not. But statistically, we know, how these cases may end up. So we're going to hold out hope that he's still alive, that we can find him and bring him home safe to his parents. But we'll continue to look at all angles and exhaust all investigative avenues.
What would be the indicators of deficient into an abduction? Like, what would be certain cases or the evidence you would need for to go into an abduction type of investigation?
Well, if we received some tip from the community that was substantive, that we could verify, that would lead us to that conclusion. If there was any type of video evidence or cell phone evidence that would lead us to believe in that that it would be that. So that would is what that would be. And let me say, I'm sorry I didn't mention, if anyone has information on Quinton Simons' disappearance, they can get on Chatham County Police Department crime tips on our website and put that information in there. They can also call Crime Stoppers at 234-2020 with any information that they may have.
You don't think any
I'm not aware of any at this point.
it's my understanding that his father lived north of here. It's not sort of happening here now with the rest of the family.
I'm not sure if he is here now. It is my understanding that he did live north of here, and he was not here during the time of his disappearance. We did obtain a search warrant for the home. We're also obtaining other search warrants as of today, and we'll continue to execute those once we're able to secure those.
Do you know where those other search warrants are?
I do not.
What's kind of the plan for today in terms of investigation?
Well, what I want to do is let the investigators do their work today, obtain those search warrants, execute those in a timely manner. Probably reassess sometime later today and see where we may need to pivot this investigation. If anything, any information comes out today that yields a different result, leads us in a different direction. But we'll regroup later on today. I want to give my investigators space to go on and do their job. They don't need me in their face every 5 seconds asking them 100 questions. They're very capable, along with the FBI, and we're going to work diligently till we come to a conclusion.
Have you talked with the mother?
I have not, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. So we understand now that grandma has custody. Dad does not live in the home and doesn't live in town. I'm not sure where he lives. They said north of there. And boyfriend is the last person to see Quinton. And 30 minutes from prior to that is when babysitter was told she wouldn't be needed that day. So this is what we know now, and I'm going to continue to stay on this and bring you updates as soon as I get them. And again, thank you so much for being here. And also, everybody, please keep praying for that precious little boy. Thank you.